as far as distillery setup, we're all copper, okay?
Right?
And I'll kind of talk a little bit about why we know and think that all copper is the best instead of just having like stainless steel with a copper column, right?
Right.
So it's all copper. This is a 100-gallon still. We're all small batch, and this is a 30-gallon. They both do the exact same thing. Here we can get a little more practice batch. We do our small batch gin out of that one, and then we do more of our vodka through this one. But they both can do the same thing. Okay, whiskeys, we can do it all in this system. But basically, we're corn based. So when the fermentation process is done, then we just throw in the all copper pot here, and then this boiler right here, where you just shoot low pressure, high heat steam, and it just comes down this 3-inch pipe, and then it just injects into this cavity, and the steam jacket is just a little cavity like that, and that just allows steam to kind of like blow through to heat the copper, and then the steam just drops out and it just returns, so it's just a constant flow of steam. That's our heat source, so that we can really regulate it instead of having an open flame. It gets too hot, it's hard to regulate, so steam is the best way. You get a better cook all the way through with steam. Any brewery will tell you that.
Right.
Brewery, distillery, they'll all tell you that.
Sure.
So basically when it gets in there, it just starts boiling, and we just have this stacker here. It kind of looks like a choo-choo train. We call him Timmy. So we catch all the steam that's coming from the boil, from the cook. You just have your propeller in here, and that just pulsates it, just like, so it doesn't burn it. So it has a moving, moving fluid.
Did you design all this equipment yourself?
No. So we went to Barlow, Kentucky, to Hillbilly Stills, and we had them custom design it to fit this type of a room and this type of an operation.
All right.
So we kind of went like a lot of distilleries, you see real high vertical stacks. So we're able to kind of go a little horizontal and then vertical with it, so that we could fit in the smaller room.
Okay.
Right? It does the same thing. Right? But so basically, when the steam kind of comes up, it rolls over, and then we roll through here, and then this is where your distillation goes down. So this is where your steam rolls through. We got a little bubble cap plate system in here. So this is where it kind of drops out the heavier water and the grain, which we use corn. That's always a big question. And it rolls through, so by the time we get to the top, that's our condenser, our coil on top. So when the steam rolls through there, my cooling system up there, that's where the steam is now touching the cold copper, and then that's where you're actually liquefying your steam. That's where your booze is really coming from. So it's always just coming off the top. By the time we roll over here, I could divert it and run it through here to make gin. So this is your botanical basket. This is where we put our botanicals in it, and we'll talk about what's in our gin, because it's really turning heads right now. A lot of people are coming and thinking we're a gin house. It's that good right now. So,
cool.
So we'll do that. Either that, or we'll keep going, and this is your final condenser. And so any steam that rolled through here that we didn't complete, we're starting to cool it down now, right?
Right.
And then, so this is a long, another condenser heat exchanger. So we just get this really cold, so we're really just liquefying the rest of the rest of the cook, the distilled stuff now. So it just rolls down and it comes out here. So this is where we really become handcrafted, handmade right here. So it rolls out here like a waterfall, kind of just like dripping down the pipe.
Okay.
We'll drop our hydrometers in here. It'll read what alcohol content we're coming out of right here.
Okay.
And then you have your heads, your hearts, and your tails. So your heads is the first part of the cook-off. That's stuff where the hillbillies have missing teeth and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Don't put that in.
You know
what I mean? But you watch that Moonshiner show, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why
they're
it
all
proves
out
it.
there like that. Yeah.
You're right.
So they're drinking too much of the heads, because they're meant. So a lot of booze that you have, that you've tried, where it has a real big burn in the back of your throat, is they're getting too much of the heads mixed in with the hearts of the batch. And so we really, to the palate, taste it, and cut it and send it to a different tank to discard. So we're catching the actual hearts of the actual cook. And it's all done by hand, by pallet right here. So it's constantly monitored by our master distiller, myself. And so everything's done right here. And then the tails is at the tail end, it's overcooked.
Right.
It's a little rubbery. You can throw it back in and try and recook it to salvage some of it, but we just discard it down the drain and just keep the hearts because we're a small batch, and so we want a premium spirit.
Sure.
So that's kind of how that goes. We'll come out of here like at 197 proof, and
there you go.
So it's pretty much ethanol, and then we have a reverse osmosis system in the back that I have piped in here.
Okay.
And right here, and then what I'll do is I'll actually take that and we'll weigh it and cut it down to get it to the 80 proof with the vodka. So like Portland and Denver and some of these other areas where the craft breweries are awesome, it has a lot to do with your water.
Right.
Arizona water is not that great.
And we found that in Memphis. They have some of the best water in the country because they have a crystalline aquifer underneath. And we were shocked, but
and that's why their bourbons are so smooth.
Exactly.
It's the water, right?
The water.
And it's also the copper.
Right.
So so we have a really high dollar reverse osmosis system in the back, and you'll be able to taste that in the spirit.
Great.
And that's good. And I have it all piped into the restaurant too, so everybody's drinking
straight
the best water instead of out of the tap. So that we get people writing reviews on our water.
I like that. I like that.
So so you're drinking straight from the best stuff that you can get here. But the copper part, so whenever you order a Moscow Mule and you get it in all copper mug, like a true all copper mug, your drink is a little sweeter. It actually causes a little bit of a reaction, right? There's a reason why they serve it in the mule mug, right? So when we cook it in all the copper here, it's a sweeter metal, and so you're getting a little bit of that reaction. So the more heated copper that it touches, you're getting that natural chemistry, which makes it more of a premium spirit.
Right.
So like you get these mass producers, Sky Vodka, you can name them. They're still on a much larger scale. They're using like a huge column, but it's stainless steel.
Right.
You know, so they're not getting the copper all the way through, other than just some stainless steel pipes that's transferring your spirit.
Right.
Okay.
So the copper makes it a little bit naturally sweeter without having to add your sugars and everything in it, because sugars get cooked off, right? So that's the purpose for the copper, and that's why we're all 100% all copper, small batch micro distillery with our spirits.
Wow.
Well, excellent. There you go. Distilling in 8 minutes. I love it.
Yeah, that's how all high level. There's more to it than
Right.
that.
Sure.
Infusions, we can talk about those too. Yeah. So what we do is we use our buckets down here, and you can see all of our infusions are all backed up in our jars right here. What we do is you got to calculate the right kind of amount of fruit in with the booze, and we infuse it at the higher alcohol volume with it, and we let that sit for a day or two before, so it can. That's why they are the color that they are. They extract all the flavor at the higher alcohol content.
Right.
Instead of just trying to throw it in some watermelon in your fridge or
right.
If you're going to infuse fruit with your booze that you buy from the shelf at 80 proof, then you're going to have to wait 2 weeks before you really get it, because water and oil separate.
Right.
So that's how we really take in the real all organic fruit infused spirits here that we only serve behind the bar.
Well, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.